What's up YouTube, Steve from Team Purple Panda, and this is going to be a reply video to dubKdad1's Getting Better at the Game Too Many Back Row video. In his video, which I'll link in the description, dubKdad posed a situation and he asked his audience to solve the board and provide an explanation. I enjoyed his video thoroughly and I loved discussion, so I want to make this video reply to further discussion and talk about some of the plays I would do and basically how I will approach the situation. So let's get right into it. So in dubKdad1's video, he said there is, this is your opponent's field. He has 3 set back rows in the face of TG Rush right now. He also has 2 cards in his hand. And in your hand, you have a Reaper, a Smashing, a Heavy, a Thunder King, a Sangan, and a Chaos Sorcerer. And he asked us to make the best play and explain ourselves. So here's what I would do. First, without looking at my hand, I'll look at his field and see what he tells me. He has 3 set back rows and 2 cards in his hand. First of all, he's heavily invested in his back rows, meaning that he's very confident that I do not have Heavy Storm. Because I haven't used it, I haven't milled it, and most likely he has something in the back row to stop me, probably a Starlight Road, a Solemn Judgment, a Dark Bribe. So let's just expect the worst, which is a Starlight Road, meaning that I do not want to randomly drop my Heavy Storm and plus him a Stardust and minus myself 1. So that's not something I would like to do. Also consider that he has 2 cards in his hand and already have a very hefty back row. So the question is, if he has something to protect his back rows, how come he did not set these cards? Well, he probably didn't set these 2 cards because they're probably A, monsters, or B, something he does not want to set. So it's probably like a Monster Reborn, his own Heavy Storm, a Dark Hole, or something like that. So just by him having 2 cards in his hand and still have a hefty back row, give me a good idea that these are probably not Deep Prisons and these are probably like bigger cards or simply monster cards. So that's what his feel simply tells me. So now let's look at our hand. We have a pretty good hand. It's not bad. There's a lot of plays. I'm pretty sure that's why dubKdad chose a hand like this for us. So with a hand like this, what I do not want to do is I do not want to take unnecessary risk. So here's what I mean. I do not want to, again, I don't want to randomly drop Heavy Storm for no reason, and I don't want to summon my Thunder King and risk it having bottomless for no reason. So to play it safe and play it smart, essentially, what I will do is I will break my hand into several waves of pushes. The first few waves being to soak up and bait out as much of the back row as possible, and the final push will seal the deal and claim me victory. So here's exactly what I mean. My first move is I'll set Spirit Reaper. There's several reasons because of that. If they have Skill Drain, that means they have to take their risk by flipping Skill Drain and then declare an attack, because you cannot flip Skill Drain doing damage step. So there's a good chance that I can sit behind Skill Drain for 1 to 2 turns, so I can collect my hand and make bigger plays and more layers of play and more sophisticated plays. So either way, the first thing I'll do is set Reaper. I'll end my turn. Then I'll draw a card. He draw a card, he does something, maybe he'll tag into Reaper, and he'll end his turn. I draw a card, so I have another card in my hand. I don't know what this is, but I just simply work with this. Now I have Reaper here. I need to start making my first threat. So my first threat is here I can go Smashing to get rid of his monster. Alright, get rid of his monster. Then I'll switch this to attack mode and declare an attack. By doing so, I can bait out defensive traps like Deep Prison, Mirror Force and stuff like that, because Reaper is a very, very big threat, especially against TGs. So I can go attack, and if they have a Mirror Force or something like that, they'll flip it to get rid of the Reaper. So let's say they have Mirror, so they go Mirror, and I'm like, okay, cool. So now they use 1 of the back row to get rid of my first threat. Okay, cool. So now I go, okay, now I'm going to put you in a lockdown. I'm going to go normal summon Thunder King. Because normal summon Thunder King, he automatically will not be able to search from TG Rush Rhino. Meaning that if he has a Solemn Warning, now is the best time for him to use it. So if that's the case, I go summon. And he goes, okay, well, I need to search. So he goes warning. So if that were to happen, then that means that I bid out another card. If he does not have that warning, that means at this point I will have advantage. So let's just assume that he has an amazing hand and he has that warning, and he goes warning. So now this is gone. Now that leaves him with one back row. At this point on, depending on how I want to do this, I might drop the Heavy Storm to hit it, or I might not. So I really have to see what this card is. So let's assume that this card is okay. It's not that good. I'll save the Heavy Storm for a little bit later. So I'll just end my turn, empty field. Now at this point on, I have an empty field, so he's probably like, okay, he might have a Gorz, and with only one back row, I don't think he's confident enough that he can get around the Gorz. So he probably summons something small and just poke with it. So let's say he summoned another Rush Rhino right here, and you poke with it. I'll just take the 2000 and I'll end turn. Then it's my turn again, I'll draw. Alright, then I go, okay, so you have one back row. I'll summon my Chaos Sorcerer. Now my Chaos Sorcerer is not a threat, so at this point, because Chaos Sorcerer is such a threat, they will have to use this card to stop my Chaos Sorcerer. So if they don't flip anything, that means I automatically have advantage. I can start removing all their monsters and they won't be able to do anything. So let's assume that they have they have something to stop me, so they go use this, whatever it is, maybe another warning, maybe like Boogeyman or something to get rid of this. So now I have wiped out a majority of their back row. At this point, I have two cards in my hand that I don't know what it is, and I haven't touched, and yet I still have a Sangan and a Heavy Storm. I'm actually in a very good position because at this point, I have soaked up a lot of their back row. I've soaked up probably like a warning or two. I've soaked up a Deep Prison or two. Maybe I soaked up a TG1 or two. So at this point on, I feel like I can simply set this and end my turn. And they'll draw and they'll summon another monster. They'll destroy this, and based on what's going on, what they have, what I have, this is a good time to search for like a tour guide or something like that, so I can get back that Reaper and get back the Thunder King that I removed with Chaos Sorcerer. And let's say to kill this, I'll probably search my deck for a tour guide, and he end his turn, he draw another card. I draw another card. Now I have 3 cards to make a play, along with a Heavy Storm. Sorry, not 3 cards, 4 card make a play, because I did search for where's that? So tour guide in my hand now. So I'll tour guide in my hand now. Now I have 5 cards in my hand, and they have a few cards too, but I've soaked up majority of the back row. So at this point on, I can play the Heavy Storm, then use these cards to make that final solid push against them. And at this point, he will have some monsters floating around. He might have a back row or two, but he will not be able to stop this kind of big plays. And after this particular turn, it should be just downhill from here. I'll just beat, and I'll get more resources and some more monsters and beat for game. So basically, that is how I will play this deck. I'll play this deck against this scenario. I want to hear what you guys think. So yeah, thanks for watching.